The McRib question. It's one of the most recognizable sandwiches in fast food history. It disappears, it returns, and every time it does, people rush to buy it before it's gone again. The McRib. To millions, it's a cult classic. To some, it's a mystery wrapped in barbecue sauce. And now, according to a federal class action lawsuit filed in January 2026, it may be something else entirely. A case study in the gap between what we think we're buying and what we're actually getting. This isn't a story about food safety. The McRib isn't dangerous. This is a story about names, expectations, and the power of marketing to shape reality itself. Let's establish the facts. The McRib contains no bones. It is not carved from a rack of ribs. McDonald's has never claimed otherwise. The patty is made through a process called restructured meat processing. Pork is ground, mixed with binding agents like salt and water, then molded into that distinctive rib shape. This technique is legal. It's widely used across the food industry, and on its own, it's not controversial. Restructured meat is everywhere. Chicken nuggets, fish sticks, breakfast sausages. Most processed meat products use similar techniques. It's how you create consistency at scale. So if there's nothing inherently wrong with how the McRib is made, why the lawsuit? Because the plaintiffs aren't questioning the process. They're questioning the promise. The lawsuit centers on one word, McRib. According to the filing, that name, combined with the rib-like shape of the patty, creates what lawyers call a reasonable consumer impression that the sandwich contains pork rib meat. Not just pork, rib meat specifically. The plaintiffs argue this isn't accidental. They claim it's a deliberate marketing strategy, one that lets McDonald's charge premium prices for a product made from far less expensive components. Now, here's where it gets complicated. The lawsuit alleges that the McRib patty may be made primarily from pork trimmings, lower value cuts that could include parts like shoulder, stomach, or other non-rib components. McDonald's denies this. The company states clearly, the McRib is made from high-quality boneless pork shoulder and does not contain organ meat. No court has ruled on these claims. No evidence has been tested at trial. What we have right now are competing narratives, and the truth likely lies somewhere in the technical details of meat processing that most consumers never see. But the lawsuit isn't really about what's in the patty. It's about what's in the name. Think about how you understand the word ribs. When you hear it, what comes to mind? Probably something specific, meat that comes from the rib cage of an animal, something you might order at a barbecue restaurant, something with a certain texture, a certain quality. The lawsuit argues that McDonald's benefits from that association without delivering on it, and there's evidence this matters to consumers. The McRib is typically priced as a premium item, often more expensive than other sandwiches on the menu. In some markets, it costs more than a quarter pounder. Would consumers pay that price if it were called the McPork shoulder or the McRestructured meat? We can't know for certain, but that's precisely the question the lawsuit is asking. There's another psychological factor at play here, one that doesn't require any legal proof because we can all observe it. The McRib is almost never available year-round. Instead, it appears briefly, vanishes, and returns months or even years later, each time announced like a cultural event. This is textbook artificial scarcity. When something is about to disappear, people don't scrutinize it. They rush to get it before it's gone. There are entire websites dedicated to tracking McRib availability, stories of fans driving across state lines, social media countdowns. This isn't just about a sandwich, it's about manufacturing desire through absence. When something becomes scarce, it becomes valuable, regardless of what it actually contains. Here's what makes this case fascinating. Both sides might be telling the truth. McDonald's is correct that reshaping meat is standard practice and that the McRib name is simply a brand identifier. The plaintiffs are correct that names carry meaning, shape expectations, and influence what consumers are willing to pay. What we're really watching here is a collision between two different understandings of truth. One is technical, What is the McRib, literally? The other is experiential. What does the average person think they're buying? This lawsuit is still in its early stages. It could be dismissed, it could lead to settlement, or it could force McDonald's to change how the McRib is marketed. But regardless of what happens in court, the McRib has already taught us something valuable. We like to think we make rational decisions about what we eat. But the truth is, much of what we taste is shaped long before we take a bite by names, by images, by the stories we tell ourselves about what food means. The McRib isn't just a restructured pork sandwich with barbecue sauce. It's a masterclass in branding, expectation, and the invisible forces that guide our choices. So the next time it comes back, and it will come back, maybe ask yourself, am I tasting what's actually there? Or am I tasting what I was led to believe?